Hi, everyone. Can you please put your videos on? Because it's a little funny here. What has happened is that I've shared my personal link in the group, and now I see like a lot of Irina Khanna's logging in. So I got a little bit confused what was happening. Good evening, Hisham. So we still have 3 more minutes to go according to my computer. So let's wait, let's welcome everyone. So there is Christine and a lot of Irinas and Farah, Abir.
Good evening, Irina.
Good evening. Who's this? Prem?
Prem, yeah.
Yes, hi.
You can't see us, is it?
Hi, I can't see, I can see so many Irinas. So it's all you guys from the group. I didn't realize it was my personal link. So I've just shared it with you guys, but that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So it's good to have, videos on. You can mute yourself only when you have a question. You can unmute, and then this is how we are going to interact.
Okay.
So that I know from where question comes, and it's.
Can you see us now?
Yes, I do. I do.
Wow.
I do. Someone is from the car, I can see. And
yes, hi, Irina.
Thank you. Thank you.
Irina, that's my daughter, Pooja.
Ah, okay. That's your daughter, Pooja.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Good evening, actually.
For us, it's evening. So 1 more minute and let's begin. There are still a lot of people. So Mariam has joined. All right, so it's sharp 8 and let's begin. Good evening, all of you. I'm very glad to see all my gang from current training that we are doing in integrative hypnosis, hypnotherapy. And I already miss you guys. And that's the downside of, these trainings. We are together for so many days and then we bond and then suddenly you just fly from my nest. And then you are back into the workshop or the seminar. So that's really incredible. For all of those who don't know me, my name is Irina. I'm a therapist at Illuminations Wellbeing Center, psychotherapist, and I do other modalities such as family constellation. And today this webinar is about family constellation. And it's the topic is painful relationships and what can you do about them with family constellation. Now, I'm not sure if any one of you has ever experienced constellation, but any which ways, I'm going to talk about 2 things here. Number 1 is what is constellation? And number 2 is how this approach works with relationships. Relationships, I mean your romantic love relationships with significant other or with your partner. Now, the biggest challenge as a facilitator or just about anyone who has ever experienced constellation is to explain it to someone who doesn't know what it is. Any other modality, let's talk about, for example, hypnosis. It's easy to explain, even if you have not gone through hypnotherapy, because you tap into this altered state of consciousness multiple times a day. I can still explain to you how does it feel. But in constellation, that's the biggest challenge. Until and unless you have witnessed it, you have participated it, even if you read it, even if somebody who has experienced it tells you, that's not the same. So for the same reason, I always tell everyone, it's a lifetime experience to actually in a live witness group family constellation. So life can never be the same if you once attend family constellation and if you experience it for yourself. It's such a powerful technique. And there are a lot of differences between family constellation and other modalities, but that this is not the space for me to talk about it right now. So what is constellation and what is the system that we talk about? The system of constellation means that you belong to a tribe or a system or a family. And when I say family, I don't only mean your parents and your siblings, but I mean the larger system from where even your parents came to. Okay? And when you belong to this system, there are some laws and guidelines that the system operates with. And you are very fragile compared to these laws and guidelines. You cannot control them. You cannot be stronger than those laws. It's very similar to laws in physics, like a gravitational force or let's say force of electricity, right? Where you can utilize them to have a comfortable living, comfortable life, but you can't go against them. They will win. They are much more powerful. Okay? So this is why it is important that we look into the system. So it's not only you who is like alone and you don't only introspect about you, you don't self-reflect about you, but you always self-reflect what's beyond you, what's behind you. Okay, so this is what I can tell you about the constellation at this point of time. Now, let's talk about relationships. Now, incredible thing is that all of us, even though I don't like generalizations, but this is true, all of us walking on this planet right now and people who came before us and who will come after us, they are all in a relationship. I can safely say that. Okay, only few choose not to experience romantic relationships. And when we are into these relationships, for many of us, it's not only one relationship, but we go from one relationship to another because previous one didn't work out. Isn't that incredible? And all of us are lovely people, right? Walking this planet, falling in love with each other. And that time when we fall in love, during that honeymoon stage that we go through, we are so joyous and so happy and so fulfilled with our life. We give our best. We are so much, tolerant, open, giving, allowing. And we experience this extreme high of the honeymoon. And then something goes wrong and we all lose it. And we become, regretful, we become angry, resentful, we are in pain, we lose this joy, we lose this honeymoon period, and we go into a traumatic phase. Only to somehow find the strength, some of us will find the strength to move out of this painful relationship and deal with the pain, deal with emotions, and then again go through it all over again, right? Now, interesting thing is that every person into this relationship, if you have like friends who went through it, or probably you are the one who went through this, you realize that you are an amazing human being, and even your partner is an amazing human being. He's amazing with his friends. He probably or she is an amazing daughter or a sister or a colleague or a friend. But when it comes to this relationship, something really painful is created. Okay, now what do we do first? First of all, the easiest tool is to blame. And please don't beat yourself up if you are blaming, because that's the easiest, and all of us do what's easier to us. It's a natural process to blame, and to blame the other. That comes first. Okay, you begin to blame, and you are angry, you are resentful, you are sad, you are helpless because you can't control somebody else's behavior or thoughts or decisions. And then if you surpass that, probably you are blaming the situation again. So you might not be blaming your partner, you might be blaming, let's say, lockdown and COVID situation. You might say that, oh, I need my space, and during COVID I'm not getting it. Or now he has got his space, he doesn't even need to go to the work, but still he's not paying attention to me. So you can now blame the situation outside, which is uncontrollable. And then for some of us, we begin to blame ourselves. And there is a very thin line, between the blaming yourself and self-discovering or being in a self-reflection mode, okay? So when you are reflecting, that's healing, and that's good, that's growing through this relationship. When you are blaming yourself, that's not the healing. That is as good as blaming others or situation. Now, if you are given a choice between blame somebody else or blame yourself, please blame others, because that's easier. At least that angers you. And when you are angry, you feel like strong, and you don't feel that your self-esteem goes down or your confidence goes down. So given a choice, blaming others, blaming situation, blaming yourself, please don't blame yourself, okay? Because that's not helpful. But neither other two are helpful. What is helpful is self-reflecting on the situation and learning how did I reach here? Like, not why, don't ask why, but how did I reach this situation? So looking back at the honeymoon, how did I reach where I am today? And in family constellation, what we look at is beyond your own behavior, beyond what you are doing actively in the relationship to your loved ones. So there are multiple things that family constellation shows up, okay? So first people as a male and female that you come across in your life are your parents. Even if some of us, probably we never met one of our parents because we lost them before we are conscious enough, or they walked out from our other parents' life. But still, if we are alive here, that proves that there are two people who have created us, male and female. And those are two people who are our first point of reference, okay? But now, this is not again to go into one mind track of now, okay, so we can blame our parents. No. If that helps for some time, of course, you can blame, but what we need to do is we need to look at how did we reach where we are today in terms of our relationships, okay? So first point of reference of male and female, their behavior, their relationship between each other is your parents. And anything that you do in your life with your partner goes back to that relationship, okay? Not only what you have observed, what happened between them, but how did you relate to them? And this is extremely, extremely important to not only to mentally understand, but to experience it as well. And this is what I really want to create here in this webinar for you. Of course, I can't create the magic of the group constellation here. That's why I'm telling you that please, whenever you get chance, wherever you are, and you can attend family constellation, group family constellation, do so, okay? So what I am intending to do here in this webinar is to give you a glimpses of experience inside your system, into your body, how it feels to kind of turn back and look at your partner differently. So let's do one thing. Before we proceed, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine your partner with whom you are not in honeymoon anymore. Okay? Like a struggling relationship. And for all of those who are still in a honeymoon space, you can also close your eyes and imagine your partner. And we will take the feedback from you at the end of the workshop and the end of the webinar. Okay? So just close your eyes and imagine the person with whom you are having the trouble, who is your significant other. And kind of observe him like as if you are seeing him first time, like you know this person. Probably you are holding some feelings, emotions, which is unpleasant. So when I say that look at this person as if you are looking at him first time, what I mean is look at him with curiosity. Okay? Move at the right distance from this person so that the person is in a very good focus. And you can see him or her entirely. And then notice what's happening in your body in terms of feelings and emotions. Notice that unpleasantness, whether it's anger or frustration or sense of loss or sadness or helplessness or any other unpleasant feelings that you are experiencing due to this person. Either he or she said something or did something or didn't do something or didn't say something, whatever it is. And just make a note of these feelings and then you can open your eyes. All right. Now, this is just to have a reference point once we do the exercise and we go back then and again check so that you know if something has shifted, okay, and how you are relating to this person. Now, going back to, does anyone has a question? By the way, you can just unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, anytime. Okay, so there is a chat right here. Everyone. I won't be able to can you please? Okay. All right. So now going back to what happens in constellations. As I said, how you are relating to your parents, you are relating to your partner. Initially, when you meet your partner and when you are onto that high honeymoon state, at that time, you perceive your partner as ideal, but ideal parent. The partner is giving you everything that you wanted to receive right from your childhood, whether it's kind of attention, kind of love, communication, and that feels that your life is complete and fulfilled. It's an ideal parent situation that you are experiencing as if you are a child and you are receiving this. And in the times of trauma, the same person who was ideal parent becomes the worst parent, the parent that you have experienced when they were not so nice to you, when they are strict to you or dominant to you or probably abusive in some ways. And that's exactly what brings this honeymoon into an end, into a trauma phase.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, like, for example, the honeymoon phase, right? What if you don't really have that kind of feeling when you first met your partner? Like, you just feel like, just like it's just calm, you know, like there's no giddy feeling, there's no like, oh, I'm so in love. It's just like when we met, it was just like there was no drama, there was nothing. So I just felt like it was calm, you know. And now
Yeah.
it's a little bit chaotic, but maybe it was just coming from my side. So I don't know how to feel like that. If
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't know who is talking. So what's your name? How do
my
I?
name is Kirsten.
Kristen, yeah. So yes, so see, it wasn't high, so it won't be high for everyone for the sake of high, but you said calmness. So probably what gives you a high is the state of calmness, state of, oh, I'm back to home, like safety. Okay, so probably for you that was important. Probably you felt somehow safe with this person, you felt calm with this person, provided it was your choice. I don't know which culture you come from. There are a lot of cultures where it's all said by the parents. So I don't know what was your experience, but if you chose this person and you experienced calmness, probably calmness is something that you are looking in your relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense because before I met him, I was in a very like super drama
Exactly.
relationship.
Exactly. So your honeymoon is equal to peace, calmness, and tranquility, probably, right? So each one of us relate to honeymoon differently. For some people, it's freedom because they were in such a constricted family setup before that they just wanted to set themselves free. So it was complete freedom for them, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's very different. Honeymoon recipe is the same,
Yeah.
but experiences are different for all of us. However, it comes to an end. That's the sad part of it, whether it's calmness or whether it's excitement or lust or call it whatever, it just comes to an end. Okay?
Which I understand because I'm in that phase already where I'm starting to see some cracks. And I'm just thinking, like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just demanding too much. So I'm really glad that I went for this webinar.
Yes. So let's understand. Let's see what happens for you at the end of the webinar. Yeah. Just stay with me with all the small little exercises, and let's see what happens. Now, so going back to your parents, right? Going back there. Now, even if your parents had a lovely relationship amongst themselves, they still had a relationship with you, and there are some missing parts over there that you perceived as missing parts. Okay? Now, what happens is that with your partner, you begin to demand, like being a child, that your partner is going to fill up those missing parts, which is absolutely impossible. And probably he or she is doing the same with you. And the more both of you are staying into a childlike state, which is, I have no responsibility on my own, because this is what we do as children, right? We don't have responsibility. We are careless or carefree, however you want to name it. And it's always somebody else who has to take care of me, always somebody else who has to make me happy, make me joyous, create the safety, create the calmness, provide for me, and be there for me. That's the understanding, that's the state of the child, which is wonderful. And all of us have experienced it to some level. However, when you move into a relationship, you are a grown up. You are a grown-up person who is now growing into becoming a parent. Now that's another responsibility, right? Let's not even go there right now. Let's just stay with romantic relationships with men and women or just two partners. Now, let's continue our exercise and then let's see what happens. Okay, I'm just taking it into experiential mode because I want you to experience. There is actually nothing that I can put in words that will explain it to you. So right now I want you to again close your eyes, again recreate that last image that you had. Imagine your partner, and imagine your partner in a situation which was unpleasant, something that triggers you from him or her. And again, go back to sensations in your body and name those feelings as well, emotional feelings as well. And then I want you to very slowly, in your imagination, just move back. Turn your back onto your partner and look behind you. And behind you is entire life you lived before you met your partner, right from your childhood. And holding on to these feelings, just look who is standing there behind you, with whom you felt similar feelings. Is it your mom or is it your dad? Or anyone else from your family? Could be grandparents also. And then you can open your eyes again. And is there anyone that would like to share what came up behind? Yes, Sarah?
I saw myself when I was a child.
You saw yourself when you were a child,
Yeah.
okay? And was that child feeling similar feelings, similar emotions?
A little bit scared.
Child was a little bit scared.
Yeah.
Okay. And was fear the feeling when you were observing or watching your partner?
Not really, like more on like I wanted more attention and a little bit of disappointment. And then when I turned to look behind, I saw my past, and then I saw the very end myself, like a little girl.
Okay. Okay. So did you relate to your past with the similar feelings, like wanting more attention in your childhood?
I guess so, because my parents were always arguing all the time, and that they never had like a loving relationship. My grandparents, I never like had a close relationship with my grandparents as well. So I guess I just probably related to myself, wanting people's attention, people's approval, never wanting people to reject me, because I guess I wanted them to like love me.
Yes, and if we go a step beyond that, the loving was a survival at that time, you see. It wasn't just a pleasure. that you are fighting for. That love was a survival. So child being scared because nobody is there for the child. Child can't survive on their own. So when as a children we say we didn't have enough love, what actually we mean that we were so scared for our life because there was no enough love, which was survival. It's essential for survival. So that's where fear comes from. And now when your partner doesn't pay you attention, you are not an adult in that moment, because what it actually triggers is the fear for your survival. And then you fight for that attention so much that it's so illogical. And partner might tell you that, are you crazy? Like, big deal, I didn't respond to you in 2 hours. I was busy, right? You are going crazy because that child is triggered, that fear is triggered.
Makes sense. It makes so much sense.
Yes. So this is who we become. This is who we become. And then our partner steps into our parent who never had time in our perception for us. And now inside something feels, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. So no intention is so crucial and so painful. It's equal to I'm going to die.
Yeah, makes so much sense.
Yeah. And that could be for you, for somebody else, it's different. It's not attention, probably. It's something else. Yeah. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Okay. Nobody wants to share, so we move forward. So in this experience now, what we did is kind of we created one layer of separation and disassociation from where you are. It's not still the end of the process, but what you have created is that here at one end is your partner with whom you feel these unpleasant sensations and feelings and emotions. And then there is a whole lot into the past where you felt this way, right? And now you realize that both ways is your experiences, okay? And now let's understand, why does your partner trigger you this way? Okay, why he or she behaves in a manner that brings all old feelings and emotions that you wanted to run away from. And you felt that by meeting this person, all of those unpleasant feelings and emotions were coming to an end, but it really didn't. Okay, so now let's do another part of this exercise where so we have got males and females here in the group. So there is a little bit different process for ladies than for gents. So I'm going to explain now why and how it happens. When we are born as children, irrespective of your gender, your survival depends on your mother. Primary caretaker is your mother, right? Now for boys, once they grow up and they reach around 9-10 years of age, then they move to the father, and then they begin to get strength from the father, and they never return back to mothers. Okay, they stay with their father. So this is a natural process. But for us, for females, it's different. We begin with mom, then we move to our father at around the same age, around 9-10, and then we need to go back to our mothers again. So we return back to our moms and we get our strength from mothers. Okay, therefore, when there is a struggling relationship between partners, boys tend to confuse their wives with their mothers. But ladies can confuse their partners with their fathers as well as their mothers. So again, As women, we have it harder than the boys, right? So what I'm going to do is now, when I guide you through this experience, I will take both the cases. So all of us go together into this process. All right. So I want you to just close your eyes once again and just relax as much as you can, focus on your breath and just breathe out whatever is on your mind, something that I've said or something that triggered any thought process in you. Just focus on your breath, and that's the best way to kind of let go and relax. And probably lately, with entire this situation of wearing the masks all the time, we have a new approach to observe when we are breathing freely in our own safe environment. So that's a luxury, to follow your breath through your nostrils down through the lungs and observe how the process then again returns back as an exhalation. And then just create a space around you. It could be the same room you are in right now, or any other room, any other space which spacious, has enough light, enough oxygen. And bring in both your parents in front of you. And again, just move at the distance from where you can observe them, where you can see them clearly. And see how it feels as a child, being small, them being big. And for males, just look at your mother. Look into her eyes. Observe her. For ladies, observe both your parents. And notice what are the feelings you get, what is emotional charge as a child in front of them. And then mentally tell them, I'm your son or I'm your daughter. I'm smaller than you. And notice, what do you feel when you say that? I'm smaller than you. Does it feel truth, or does it create any unpleasant feelings or emotions? Just notice, observe that. And then in the same place, in the same space, invite your partner and let partner stand behind you on the other side of the room. And then slowly turn towards your partner. And notice how your feelings change in terms of becoming adult. And tell your partner, I'm grown up. I'm equal to you. Tell your partner, I'm sorry. I've confused you with my parent. And breathe out through your mouth as you say that. Just release. And with every breath, let the sense of responsibility of being an adult in this relationship come in. And observe what that responsibility brings to you. Is it pleasant or unpleasant? Just make a note of it. You don't have to fight it, just observe. And tell your partner, I'm not your child. I'm not your parent. We are equals. And again, observe what this sentence brings to you. And then slowly, again, move back to your parents. And observe how you shrink and become small. And look at them. Then again, turn towards your partner and observe how you grow and become an adult. And now tell your partner, I have something that you need, and I'm ready to give. And you have something that I need, and I'm open to receive. And again, I take a deep breath, breathe out through your mouth. And again, observe what that sentence brings to you. Ready to give and open to receive. And then, whenever you are comfortable, you can open your eyes. And let's see what was your experience. Anyone wants to share? I can see, Karim, I saw two figures that I didn't recognize looking like dark mists, but the energy is female and male. One of the females is old. Why do women return to the mothers? Okay. So women return to mothers because that's where they need to stand, right? They need feminine energy more, and they get feminine from mothers who have feminine energies, and they can supply it as a resource. And men need to stand with fathers because they need masculinity, which men can provide. Okay. Karim, I'm not sure what you saw means. I mean, looking at two energies, probably there is something there we need to explore. Like you don't know whether it's your parents or whether it's your grandparents. And a little bit, I have an idea about your background because you are very closely with your grandparents as well and moving in and out, right? So probably that's the reason. I don't know. Okay, anyone wants to share the experience, or is there any questions? Probably you don't want to share, you can keep it. What you experienced is yours and you don't have to share it. What is the result if it's a male and has only mother to look up to? Yes, probably if it's only the mother, then there will be a lack of masculinity, which means can have, and if there was nobody as in, you know, uncle or stepfather or grandfather, will lack into that strength. Okay, especially if this guy has a negative outlook towards the father. So one thing is that father is missing, however, mother brings the presence of the father. Okay, we are not talking here only on the psychology of the upbringing. This is exactly what's different in family constellation. So one is your personal experiences because father was missing. So father could be missing because he divorced your mom, or because he died, or because he works elsewhere, let's say, in different country, and he's not present every day. When you come home, your father is not there, right? So there is a certain psyche that forms for such children, of course, but we are not talking about that. We are talking when presence of the father is excluded, when we don't talk about the father. Father could be there, physically present, but he is excluded. Let's say father who is into alcohol, or father who is workaholic and is not there, and mother completely excludes his role, okay, takes charge, takes control. Even for this child, that will be difficult to take strength from the father. Does that answer your question? Then I mean, some of the issues this child is going to face as an adult man probably is the relationship with his wife. You know, we called mama's boys. So a lot of times the bond between mother and him is so strong, he kind of replaces the father for the mother. So he replaces partner basically and steps into his father's shoes or the partner of the mother's shoes, and then he's not available for his own partner. And that could be a one aspect of this dynamic. Another aspect could be that he can't stand any other woman. He has this negative resentment. He has the resentment towards the mother. Instead of being his partner, he has a resentment towards his mother, and then he transfers this resentment to all other women or all other partners. Anyone else? Any other question? When we reach the moment of saying to the partner, I'm ready to give you what you need and I'm ready to receive, I felt on my chest fear and something withholding me. Yes, yes. Yeah, so now observation, if it would have been like a personal session, if I would have been there and you would have shared exact moment when this happened, you know, like as a constriction, right, in your chest. was it when you said that I'm ready to give, or was it when you said that I'm ready to receive? There is a possibility that one way to give and to receive, both the ways. Yeah. So as a child, going back to your childhood, you need to check if there was a separation between you and your parents. Now, separation could be physical. As a baby, you are separated from your mother, from your father, for whatever, situational, you were sick, they were sick, they were in hospital or whatever, physical separation, or separation because, like, I had a session today with someone, and there was a separation because when client was 2 years old, her brother is born. And then mother obviously takes care of the brother, and there is total disconnect between daughter. And these are the challenges that as a parent we do face, because we do not understand, not particularly we understand what child is going through. And we need to take care of the younger one, because the younger one is always in much more need than the 2-year-old for survival. But the pain that goes during these times when second sibling is born is incredible. Like, it's really huge. Right now they don't feel it because they are like 40 years old, 50 years old, and looking back, I mean, of course it's not natural, it's natural. Even I have 2 children, even I have 3 children, they'll say. But when they step into that child and they kind of bring those cellular memories back of the pain, it's huge. Okay, so at that time, what you do is you close that heart. You close heart to receive, because need to receive is so painful. You say, if I close it, there will be no need to receive, because it's kind of your decision that you have closed it. And then it becomes really difficult to either receive or give.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing like the other person. When you said I'm ready to receive, I exhaled so loudly.
Yeah.
I think because I'm the eldest child, and when my brother was born, I really felt like my mom just took care of him completely, and I was like left on my own to, like, be the big sister. And when my parents are fighting, I have to take care of my brother. So it's more like, if I receive something, it's like, wow, I feel like I did something great that I received this. Like, I always felt like it's a reward for me to receive something from someone because I did something amazing to get their attention. And I think that's really wrong, and I need to fix that, because even in my relationship, I feel like, okay, I need attention from you because maybe I did something great. So I need something in return.
Yes, yes. And it's so painful, right? It's very
Yes,
painful to
very.
go back into that moment.
Yeah, sometimes I tell my mom, I tell her, like, you give too much attention to my brother even before. I said I had to grow up by myself. I always tell her this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very painful. Then, there is another thing. When you close your heart to receive, what you focus on is giving. So you are going to be extreme giver.
Yes, oh my God, I give gifts all the time. All the time. I give gifts, 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 gifts. Like, I always like people to see how much I appreciate them by giving gifts.
Yeah. And then, another bad story is when you give so much, they run away from you. And then you are so bitter that I've given so much, and even still, after doing so much, this person betrayed, this person left me, this person
Yeah,
doesn't call me back. For this person, I'm not important. Somebody else is more important.
yeah, yes, yes, exactly.
Yes. They will always run away. You can't do this with friends. You can't do this with partners. Only the people that you can only give are your children, because they are supposed to only take.
Ah,
Anyone else, be it your friends, be it your boyfriends, girlfriends, there has to be equal give and take. And equal, when I say equal in any sense. It could be sexual, it could be financial, it could be emotional, spiritual, mental. There has to be equal give and take. Not in each department. So I'm not saying that you pay half the rent and your partner pays half the rent and you split the bills. But what I'm saying, in all of these aspects of your life, there has to be equal give and take. So somebody needs something and you have it and you provide, and then you need something and that person gives and provides. And this equalization comes when you give a little bit more than what you have received, and then this person also gives a little bit more than this person has received, and that's how relationship grows. If you only give or if you only receive, it will never work. It doesn't work even in friendships. Does it? Like once you invite someone, you pay the bill, second time, third time, 50 time, then you don't want to invite them, or rather they won't even pick up your call because they feel so guilty.
Okay, it does make sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you only give, they disappear, they run away out of guilt, not because they're bad people.
Makes a lot of sense. So equality.
Equal is important. Equal is important, and it's important to voice it out, to say that I'm ready to receive, I want to receive, and this is what I want to receive.
Okay. So we have to be vocal about what we want from our partner.
Yes, but vocal also has different shades and grades. Okay, vocal, you can be screaming, crying, beating, breaking. So not vocal like that.
Okay.
Anyone else with question or sharing? There was an emotional separation. So did it trigger some memories, some feelings? All of you are into your own space, self-reflecting. There are layers and layers of our connection with our childhood, and for so many things that we have been, it's incredible how when couple comes into, like a constellation session, and what they discover there is totally different than what they thought. And they were into this loop of blaming, whether again each other, situation, whatever. But truly what you can do is only to accept your partner the way he or she is and what they bring with them. They never come alone, because we are not alone. We are never alone. We always carry entire system on our back, and our partner does too. And beauty is that we can't do about it. We can't, put it down. We cannot demand that our partner puts it down. We can't change it. We can't carry it for them. We can't help them. They can't help us. So all we can do is just accept what is. Okay, recognize, be aware, and accept. And promise to them that you will never attempt to change this or never attempt to help them. You will just respect them and you will trust that they have strength to carry it on their own, whatever they went into the childhood. Because when we love someone, the tendency that we want to help them, we want to help them feel better, we want to, do something on their behalf, whatever they are dealing with, but that's impossible. Please, one question: how do we find out more about the system families and the rules we need to abide to, and how to maximize these connections? How you can find, can we only send them to you? What? Maximum? Can we only send them to you? Yes, you can send them to me. I'm actually having a 2-day constellation workshop where we not only experience constellation, but there will be a theory part as well. Sometime in April, I will ask them to send the dates, or you can come to 1-day workshop where there is no theory. There are people, clients just like you, who want to do their constellations, and you witness these constellations, and then you become part of these constellations as well. Okay, so you become a rep, you observe, and you put your constellation as well. So you can choose, either come for 1-day workshop, or you can come to a 2-day workshop where theory will be there. You can read books about constellations, right? If you just want to know about these rules, that would be fastest and easiest way to know about them. What happens if husband completely ignores the family and goes on electronics all day, so less than 5 minutes of spending time together daily? What is the best way to not change them and handle it positively? Yeah. See, what I mean to say is there is no point screaming, shouting, breaking their phone, because guess what? They will buy another one and then they will go away from you and do it. Okay, so there is no point of fighting. Is there a point of changing the husband? Probably yes. You can change your husband, but be aware that what you are creating is not wanting attention and not getting the attention. Okay, so before you find another husband, please heal that child in you. Okay, that is number one. Number two is that you need to communicate to your husband, how do you feel about his behavior in a constructive way. Okay, and you need to together decide whether he's dealing with electronic addiction and he needs help, that he truly cannot, addiction like smoking, like drinking, or like electronics, that's also addiction where he cannot do without the phone, and only 5 minutes, you are saying, like out of 24 hours, only 5 minutes, if he's off available for a human relationships, probably it's an addiction and it can be professionally helped. So there are many different ways. Only show up when you accept it, when you accept that, okay, this is what he does. If you don't accept and you keep fighting, nothing is going to help. He's only going to do it more, and you are going to be more vulnerable emotionally. Okay, once you accept the behavior, this is what is happening, let me look at it from different perspective. And even if you have to change the husband, you have to still first accept that this husband is like this. Completely and totally. Without accepting, you will not be able to move to the second one. Sonia? So, don't tell your husband what I just said. But if you say, probably he's going to let go of his phone. Right? Anything else, guys? Any other question?
Yes, thank you, Irina. I just want to ask you, I'm passing now a very difficult situation of a divorce. So what do you think about what are the things that can help me to go through it? Like, if you can help me with that. Thank you.
Okay, Sham. So see, divorce is a difficult situation, and there are different aspects again there, right? So accepting comes there as well. But when you are dealing with a lot of emotional stuff and you are vulnerable, a situation is very vulnerable, idea is to first get emotionally intelligent for this particular situation, because this is the situation. None of us are emotionally intelligent because we don't go through this probably entire lifetime. None of us are ready for it. So when you are into it, there are a lot of emotions that come up, and probably you need to look into something called emotional freedom technique. It's a tapping. So if you can Google and do it every single night, that would help, number one. If you get chance to come for constellation, that would give you another perspective. And the beauty of constellation is that one session is more than enough. You know, it completely changes your outlook, and you come to peace. Like it touches you at a very deep soul level. So it's not the ongoing sessions that you are doing with constellation, but otherwise right now, if you are struggling with feelings and emotions, then this tapping, it's a technique. It's called emotional freedom technique. Just Google it. There are a lot of videos, and just do it, or come for a therapy. Yeah, that would be. Any other questions? Okay, so I see no other questions coming here. So then it brings us to the end of this webinar. So thank you once again for being here. And I shall ask Illuminations to email you all the dates about the constellation workshops happening at Illuminations. And you can anytime come and experience it, right? And if you have any other questions that pops up later, yes, I do, Abhi, I do teach. But yet level 1 is not announced. Yes, Maya. You can unmute yourself.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. So my question is, I have done a course on ancestral healing. And in the ancestral healing, we are learning about the family constellation. But because I did this course online with just me, my teacher, she's in America, she said I should join a group in which to do the family constellation exercises.
Okay.
But I don't understand because actually what it is, because I have done the course, I have worked on like the 7 generations, mother side, father side, but I don't understand actually what it is, because I did exercise and we had to put these different pieces of paper and then step on them and see what we are feeling. Mm-hmm. Is it something like that?
Okay, Sonia. So constellations now, see, with times, everyone is evolving and adapting. Now, classic constellation is when you are doing it with people. So instead of papers, there are people that don't know you, don't know your generations, and don't know your family. And those people are chosen instead of papers. So somebody from the group will be chosen as your father, somebody as your mother, somebody as you. And then you are just observing, and these people begin to move in the room and begin to talk what they feel and what they sense. Now, what you have experienced, because there was no luxury of having this group during the COVID, and you know, you are doing it online course, somebody from America, then this is a modified version. This is what we do in one-on-one constellation. So when it's me and my client and I don't have people to utilize, what I do, I take papers and I name those papers, and I don't tell my client who are those papers. And I ask my client to channel all of them, or opposite. Or I tell my client that, okay, for your constellation, we need 3 people. This is you, your brother, and your sister. And I tell them to take 3 papers, number them as 1, 2, 3, and to give the names of number 1, who is number 1, who is number 2, who is number 3. And then client places it on the floor, and then I step, because I don't know who is who. So I will step there and I will start channeling, and it will make sense to the client. So these are one-on-one sessions, okay? Now, when you have a constellation with people, it's totally different experience. However, no matter what you do, whether it's a one-on-one, whether it's online, or whether it's with the group, the results and the healing and the therapy, result and as in resolution is same. What is not there is that probably that, aha moment of when you witness something like this. Can you imagine there are 20 people in the group? They don't know what's your issue. They don't know why you are here. They don't know your family, and they are picking up the feelings, sensations, gestures, the sentences, just like your family member. So it becomes like really incredible experience, okay? Which will not be there when you are doing it on paper, because you are channeling all of them, right? So yes, you can join and do that training. So I don't know, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Also, would I need the day workshop or the 2 days? Which one is the best one to join?
You mean my workshop, the workshop that I do? See, if you are
Yes.
interested in theory of it, because somebody just asked me, right? The theory where we can, I think Farah asked, then theory will be provided in 2-day workshop. So it's a different structure. It's kind of like a foundation into family constellation. But if you just want to have your own constellation, let's say you are dealing with something and you want to resolve it, plus you are going to see all other people, like 10 others will be doing the constellation. So that's different experience, okay, where we don't discuss much of the theory, but what you observe and you participate there as a real rep. So you are going to become one of the representatives of somebody else's family, and you will step into someone's constellation. So that will happen in both.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When will that workshop happen?
We will send you the dates.
Okay, sure.
Right now, I don't have it with me, the schedule, but I will ask and you will receive it on the email. Yeah.
I can't wait to go.
Can I ask a question? Is it too late?
Yes.
Yeah, just want to find out, like, supposing you are into a relationship with your sibling, and which has not been good right from childhood. And here, as you grow older, you become a little mature and you want to practice the forgivenessness and forget the past. And then, you want to try to improve the relationship. But this doesn't happen. It's just one side. The other side doesn't take it properly. So with the result, there's always a bit of a friction in the relationship, especially when you meet, and it's not a very soothing, comforting relationship, even as you age, when you are really grown up and mature, it doesn't happen. So is there any way one can do anything about this?
Are you older than your sibling or
Older?
Younger? You are older. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes. Are you open to do it right now? Just small little.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Just close your eyes and see your sibling. Okay, just look at it. Brother, sister?
Sister.
Sister, okay, look at her. Again, just move at the distance to have entire vision. And just tell her, I'm not your mother. I'm just your sister. And you are my little sister. You are not my child. Then take a deep breath. and feel the energy of being a sister. Just a sister. And then you can open your eyes. Okay? Just stay with it now. You don't have to share anything, just be with it. And probably later we can reconnect and see what's happening, yeah? I don't know your name because you are also Irina Khanna as per this.
Oh, I know. I'm Manjula.
Okay, Angel.
I don't. Your name is coming in that.
Yes, yes, I know. All right, is there any other question anyone has? Or else we can close down the session. Again, thank you all for being here. And do email if you have any questions or anything to share about what we did today, yeah? Bye.
Thank you, Irina.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.